Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Easton Cook and I am a flight attendant for a major US airline. Now, if you're new to the channel, let me explain. I do not mention the name of the airline I work for due to the very strict social media policy that they have in place. Not speaking their name really helps me keep my own opinions separate and apart from my company. The policy really is that strict and all-encompassing, so this is my way of respecting that. Now, today we're going to talk about a frustration that if you've flown in the past couple days, you've probably dealt with. If you've been keeping up with the news, or you've been at the airport, or if you just talked to anyone in the airline industry, you know that the last couple days have been tough. In case you didn't know, this past Friday, CrowdStrike, a cybersecurity vendor, pushed an update to Microsoft systems across the globe. Well, there was a bug in the update and it shut down Microsoft systems for numerous businesses. It's actually ironic because CrowdStrike's whole goal is to prevent cyber attacks that would result in the exact event that they themselves created with this update. With this update shutting down Microsoft platforms, it affected businesses like hospitals, retailers, banks, airlines, and just numerous other businesses. But in this video, like I mentioned earlier, I am a flight attendant, so we're gonna focus on the fallout for airlines. And there is no hiding this one, a particular airline. Now understand, everything I mentioned in this video is not just exclusively Delta, but Delta did get hit the hardest. And before we begin, of course, y'all make sure and subscribe, like the video if you find it informative, and then also you can shop my merch at eastonexplorers.com. You can get this shirt and much more. Now let's dive in. There is a critical aspect of aviation that most passengers never think about: crew tracking. Ever wonder why your flight got delayed or canceled? I mean, you have a plane, you checked in just fine, your bags are loaded, there's no weather, so what's the problem? Well, more than likely, it's because you don't have a crew. And it's not as simple as it sounds to just go ahead and go get one, right? So pilots must be trained for that specific aircraft that you're flying on at that specific time for that one leg. Flight attendants are typically qualified on every piece of equipment just means aircraft, that their airline owns, but there must be enough flight attendants for that particular plane. The FAA will absolutely not accept one less flight attendant than is required for a particular aircraft. So the options are that flight gets crewed correctly, delayed, or canceled. And just for your knowledge, in case you're curious, the ratio is 1 flight attendant to 50 seats. And yes, I said seats, not passengers. You can have 50 seats on a plane, only 1 passenger, and you still must have 1 flight attendant. And taking it a step further, you can have 51 seats on the plane, have 20 of those seats filled, and still need 2 flight attendants. And that's just for you. Y'all, most of the time, the flight is crewed just fine. Yeah, there may be a mechanical, there may be weather, but otherwise, crews are typically very well staffed, no issue. That's because of crew tracking. Crew tracking is a system that airlines use to monitor the location and status of their crews in real time. From pilots to flight attendants, knowing where each crew member is at all times ensures flights are properly staffed and they can go out on time. This system can also be very well automated. Let's say a flight is delayed getting to its destination, and that destination is a connection hub, meaning that airport, that connection hub is where passengers go to. They fly in from other places to go to this place in order to then scatter and go all over the world. Well, if the flight that's delayed getting to that connection hub has a crew that's supposed to work another flight, that means that next flight is going to be delayed as well. So crew tracking can see that and already have another flight attendant or another crew deadhead in from another base to go take care of that flight so it's not delayed, and the domino effect is kind of kept at bay. Also, for your information, deadheading is when a crew is on duty but they are in a passenger seat. They're really just being repositioned throughout the world in order to protect the operation. So what happens when this crucial system just goes down? Well, imagine this weekend. The crew tracking software crashes and airlines suddenly completely lose visibility of where their crews are at around the world. And not only where they are, but how long have they been on duty? Are they still legal? See, pilots can only be on duty for 9 to 14 hours. And the FAA allows the max amount of flight attendant duty day to be 14 hours. Now, there are extensions and legalities that are far too complex for this video. I just wanted to give you kind of an idea that when a crew member times out, it means they're done. They've worked the length of their duty day, and they say, hey, I can't go any longer. Because anything over a 14-hour shift will surely begin to jeopardize safety. So when crew tracking goes down, there's no way to verify who's legal, where people are. I'm talking just total chaos. The software that ensures every flight is sufficiently staffed suddenly down. This system is extremely delicate and very data hungry. And understand, every airline passenger has a passenger bill of rights. And if you're curious about that, or if you didn't even know you had it, I got you. The link is in the description below. So if you were affected, or even if you weren't affected, if this is just news to you, let me show you some footage of what this past weekend looked like in airports. So what you saw there was primarily passengers. Please remember that airlines didn't know where their crews were. So this means while passengers are being given hotel vouchers and food vouchers and meal vouchers, all that, crews still needed the same thing. So there were some crew members that were even sleeping in the airport because all hotels were filled and accommodations couldn't be given. Now just consider the global scale for a moment. Crews are constantly moving between cities, countries, and continents. When the tracking system fails, it's not just a local problem, it's a global one. Crews may be stranded in different parts of the world with no way to coordinate their next assignment. And this causes a ripple effect. Flights from multiple locations get delayed or canceled, affecting thousands of passengers. And let's just focus on delayed flights for a moment. Delayed flights mean longer layovers, missed connections, and generally just a poor travel experience. And that means that an airline's reputation would take a hit because passengers lose confidence in their reliability. And I have to say, the airline industry, safety is number one across the board. There's no doubt about that. That's the reason that crew members have max duty days. But as far as competition between the airlines goes, airplanes can have the same bells and whistles. You can buy the same type of aircraft, you can upgrade, and still meet your competitors. But on-time performance is a metric that is extremely competitive, and not every airline is the same. And there's a point from all this that I want to make very, very clear. And that is, if one flight is delayed or canceled, it creates a domino effect across the system because the crew that was supposed to be on that next flight isn't in the right place at the right time, causing further delays and cancellations across the network. Y'all, crew tracking is the unsung hero of the aviation industry. You don't ever think about it, but it ensures that flights operate smoothly on time. Without it, the skies would be chaotic, passengers would face endless delays and cancellations. It would just be a nightmare. So the next time you fly, remember that the intricate system working behind the scenes is making your journey possible. And also please remember that the flight crews, the flight attendants, the pilots, they want to fly their schedule and go home. They do not want drama. They want to get you to your destination as quickly and safely as possible. Keep that in mind during this time and in the future should there be any interruptions in your travel plans. And that's all for today, y'all. Thanks for watching. I do want to stress again that this video is just stating the facts. This is not an opinion piece. And also, if you want to see the airlines, I mean global airlines, and what cancellations, what delays, all the percentages, all the stats, I will put a link in the description below that gives you live, real updates on every airline. And make sure and subscribe, like the video if you like the video, follow me on the socials. You can shop my Amazon storefront, all in the link in the description below. Also, you can buy this shirt and other merch on eastonexplorers.com. I'll talk to y'all next time. Please stay safe out there. God be with you.